Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming for training session this afternoon. Right, this afternoon's topic will be called the 8 basic building blocks of our business. Now, as you already know, most of you have attended all sorts of trainings by some of our masters, our founding directors, Vijay, Kurt, Japa, and Joe. Right now, most of the trainings they have takes you a longer time to master in order to duplicate within your group. So today's training is called the 8 basic building blocks due to the fact that this training is meant for you to master it today and go out and duplicate it tomorrow within your organization. Very basic, very simple, but yet very powerful. Now the biggest challenge networkers face is most of them can present effectively, but most of them are very apprehensive about training. You know, Patman, I don't know how to train. I'm not a trainer. But the 8 basic building blocks is meant for anyone to use. Whether you're 1 week old in the business, whether you're 6 months old in the business, it is still effective. Right? And I'm sure you're going to be comfortable with this training module to be duplicated within your organization. So are we ready to go? All right. Now, the first basic building block. Right? So I'll go by every basic building block. I'll call it the first block or the first building block. Is that okay with you guys? All right. Now, the first building block is sometimes overused in our industry, and a lot of people may be uncomfortable with it. But let me be honest with you. Without this basic building block, nothing else happens. This is your starting point. If you cannot accept, learn, and identify with this building block, you cannot go on to the next 7 building blocks. Right? You can't even start networking per se. Now, the first building block is your dream, your vision, your goals, or what I prefer, your reasons for actually coming into this business and doing it. A lot of people jump into this business without knowing why. Right? They know everything about how. They read all the books, they master every method there is, but they fail to understand that the first thing you need to know about this business is why are you doing it? You need to identify with your why. Right? So the first basic building block is where you identify with your dream, your goal, your vision for yourself. Right? And a word which I'm comfortable using is your reason for getting into this business in the first place. Now remember, you're sitting down and doing this with your people, your organization. Alright? And this is the first hurdle you must cross. To get them to open up enough and share with you their dream, their vision, their goals for this business, their goals for themselves in their lives, their reasons for going out there and doing what they're supposed to do for this business. Alright, I will divide this building block into 2. Firstly is your short-term goals, vision and dreams. Secondly is your long-term goals, vision, dreams and reasons. Okay? Now most people are very uncomfortable talking about this. But once you get them to open up, you hear some amazing things. So sit down with your leader, your organization, and ask them this question. So what are your dreams for this business? What are the reasons for you coming into the business? Most of them will give you an answer which I would believe is pre-set or preconceived answer by society. I want a big house, I want a lot of money, I want a good life. Alright? So when you talk about these dreams, vision and goals, it has to be a bit more specific. To be honest, some people out there want to provide a better education for their kids. Some people out there want to provide a better future for their kids. Some people just want to have a better life. Okay? And then when you go into your long-term dreams and vision, then you hear the massive, dreams of people. They want the Lexus LS 400, diamond black, cream leather seats, 5-spoke sport rims. Right? They want to fly around the world for holidays. They want holiday homes all around the world. Right? They want Rolexes. They want all of the things they've been dreaming of as children. Now, if you sit down and speak to even your friend tomorrow, or even a brother or sister, majority of people have forgotten their dreams. We go through a stage in life, when we start working, we fall into this stage called reality. When you no longer think it's possible. But when we were small, what was running through your mind? When you were kids, everything was possible, correct? Alright, I remember I used to watch this movie called, this series called The Lifestyles and the Rich or Famous. Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Remember that? Robin Leach, with that British accent he'll be sharing. And I used to see these big houses, the Ferrari Testarossas, the F355s, the Rolls Royce, the Bentleys. And I used to tell my mom, Mom, one day I will own one of these. What the mom used to say? Knock you on the head and say, study first. Alright, then what happens is when you go through age, you come into reality. What is reality? When you realize your salary comes in this month and it goes out the first 5 days of the month. And you're left with a balance of 100 ringgit or $100 in your bank account, and you got 25 days to go. And then suddenly you realize, man, why am I even dreaming about the Ferrari? Why am I dreaming about flying around the world where I can barely afford to buy myself a new pair of shoes this month? I got to think twice before I take my wife out for a movie. Right? But don't think that way. Your dreams, the dreams you had, the visions you had for yourself as a child can and will become a reality if you stick on to them. Don't let go. So when I sit down and talk to you about the first building block, I want you to bring out again your dreams, your vision, your goals for yourself. Now when we talk about the short-term goals for this business, it could be simple things. Like, when do you want to qualify for your first step with Gold Quest International? When do you want to qualify for your second step of Gold Quest International? When do you want to start hitting an average of 2 checks a month from Gold Quest International? Alright? Even retirement from your job can be a short-term goal. Because a lot of people have retired after 6 months of doing this business. After 1 year of doing this business. So the first basic building block is realize your reasons. Realize, identify with your dreams, your visions for coming into this business. Alright? And if you tell me, Patman, honestly, I do not want a Ferrari, doesn't matter. But don't you want your kids to have a brighter future? I want my kids to have the best future ever. Maybe the future I didn't have. Because I grew up the hard way, most of us did. But do you want the same hardship for your children? Or you want them to have a better life? So your dream can be as simple as being able to provide the best education for your children. Alright? Now, I spoke to a man once, and you wouldn't believe what his vision and dream was. And I had a hard time believing. We sat down, we spoke. He was a man with 2 kids. And he shared with me over a cup of coffee. Right? And he told me, you know what, Padman? I just want to go out one day and take my family out for dinner without worrying about the bill. Now, to you and me, what is he talking about? When do we worry about the bill? But ask yourself this question. Have you gone out for dinner and worry about the bill? Yes. You stop your wife from ordering lobster. Your kids want this. You say, no, it's not good for health. Eat the cheaper thing. Alright? So this man's dream or his goal for that short term was to be able to reach a financial standing in his life where he can take his family out for dinner without worrying about the bill. Things we take for granted. Maybe because we're better off than them. But when I sit down with my leader or my partner in this business, I want to know his dream. I want to know his vision. I want to know his short-term goals. I want to know his long-term, unbelievable, amazing dreams, which we sometimes forget because we fall into this reality trap. Now, the reason why this building block is so crucial is because once you identify with their dream, their vision, their goals, you know which buttons to push. If he goes out and he starts getting demotivated, he goes out and he says, Patman, this business is too difficult. What do I do? I say, Anand, have you forgotten? We spoke about it. Your dream, remember? Your kids, remember? You wanted to take a family holiday together, which you haven't taken for the past 5 years. Remember you telling me for once you want your wife to be chauffeur driven instead of her driving around and suffering the traffic jams. Have you forgotten that? Once you start reminding them about their dreams, their vision, their reasons, as simple as going out for dinner, not worrying about the bill, you bring out their strength. They no longer are affected by the negative elements outside. What kept me going? What kept most of you going from the early days of Gold Quest? What was it? Your own dreams. You were not willing to give up on your dreams. You were a fighter. So you need to identify, you need to bring that out of the person you're talking to. So the first building block, and I honestly feel, and I'm stressing this over and over again, is the most important building block of the 8 basic building blocks of this business. Why? Because without that, a man has no direction. Without a dream, you are basically walking around like a zombie. Without a dream, you have no purpose. Without a vision, you have no direction. So let me ask you a question. You want to go from point A to point B. Correct? Alright? Town A to town B. I'm going to give you the shortcut. Would you want to listen? Yes, because you want to go to town B. Now suddenly you don't feel like going to town B. You don't want to go to town B. You want to stay in town A. And I show you the shortcut to town B. Will you listen? No, because you have no direction. You have no destination. So every shortcut or every training module we give you, every method, how to answer questions, how to do this, will not be useful to you unless you know where you want to go with this. So a lot of people come into Gold Quest International without direction, with no dreams, visions, goals and reasons to fulfill, so he becomes stagnant. So the first building block is where you sit down with the person, whether in a one-on-one or even in a group, your core group of people, and you get the person to share his dream and his vision with you. And you relate to it. And you remember it. Never forget a man's dream, because that is his driving force. That is his fuel to keep going in this business. Alright? A lot of people tell you, yeah, Patman, we heard this so many times. This dream, this dream, this dream, this dream. But stop and think. You are where you are today in life. And it all started with a dream. Someone once told me, I read in a book, that everything you touch today around you is a dream come true. Do you agree with me on this one? Everything you touch, from your mobile phone to the light switch to the car you drive, was a man's dream, man being gender neutral, a man's dream which came true. So in this business, do not feel embarrassed to stand up here and tell people your dream. Right? My dream was to make sure my kids don't go through the hard life I went through. I want to provide them the best life. I want my wife to have the best life. You understand? I want my mom to have a fantastic retirement. I want my friends and family, all right, to be able to share in my wealth and to build a team and organization. So the first basic building block is where you identify with the person's dream, vision, his goals, his reasons. There are ladies who will just tell you, Patman, forget about all this materialistic stuff. I just want enough money in the bank account so I can sleep peacefully knowing my kids have a secured future. A man once told me, the day his child was born was his happiest moment in his life. Agreed? Fathers in the room? But also he never had a peaceful sleep after the child was born. Because every moment was, how do I pay for college? Alright? Their clothes today, children's clothes, are 10 times more expensive than ours. Trust me. I bought stuff for my nieces and nephews. You understand? Right? So to that lady who spoke to me, her dream was to secure the future of her kids. Right? Then you got some people who stand up and say, I want the Lexus LS400 diamond black cream leather seats, 5-spoke sport rims. You understand? Then there's a man who says, I want the holiday villa by the Phuket beach. Alright? I want a Spanish villa in Spain. Everyone has very different reasons, dreams, visions for this business. But you have to bring it out of them. Remember it. That's their button. That's the button you keep pressing to keep them going. Whenever they feel down. Remember your dream, Leslie? Remember you wanted to own your own empire one day? Alright? Remember your dream, Uma? You wanted to provide more for underprivileged kids? Have you forgotten that? You're going to allow 3 rejections to change your vision, your dream? Muniz, you wanted to come back on top? Think about it. All of us, any man who denies he has a dream and vision is a liar. He may be too egoistic to admit he has a dream and vision. Oh no, I don't have such things. I'm just doing my daily routine. No. You need this. And the first basic building block is where you sit down and you identify with that person his dreams, visions, goals, and reasons. And how you help him to bring it out is how? By you sharing yours. When you start sharing yours, he gets comfortable with you and he starts opening up. You understand? Alright? So the first basic building block, which I stress again, which is the most important part of this training module, which you need to go through with your people, is identify with their dream, their vision, their goals, their reasons for doing this business, and divide it to short term and long term. Okay? You understand? Very important. Put 5 stars next to this one. This is the crucial one. Your starting point.